Well. Like we were right. It's hit the fan. So let's dive in and talk about it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. Sorry I missed last night. It was a hell of a day. And it feels like I was kicked, and then when I was down, I was kicked again. Well, I tell you what, I'm back. We're all back, folks. We're all going to take our kicks, our licks, and folks, it's going to feel like you've been beaten with sticks. I'm like Dr. Seuss, only I don't have a hat, no cat in the hat. Still, it's Friday. It's the free-for-all. It's time to get down. Get your questions in here. I'm not going to do a 30-minute monologue. We're going to go back and forth, me and you. I want you guys participating as much as I'm here. I've got a ton of stuff to talk about. And you guys, I want you to chime in with your thoughts, your ideas, your statements, your conclusions, your predictions, your history, your future. What do you want to talk about? It is Friday. And we'll be back for Sunday Night Live on Sunday. Be sure, and folks, hit the thumbs up. Be sure you've hit the subscribe button on YouTube if you're over there. Right? Hit the thumbs up again. Make sure you've hit that thumbs up. And then also, folks, share. Share this internet address so that people wake the hell up. I've got some shit I'm going to talk to you about. And you are just going to think, what the hell is going on? Now, that is if you're new. If you've been paying attention, you're going to say, what the hell is going on? Why can't these people learn? Folks, they're not going to learn. Whether we're talking about the highest levels of government, all the way, of course, down to the street level fruitcakes, they're not going to learn. So let's do this. I mean, let me start with that. Let's just start. They're not going to learn. Is this a failed coup or deja vu? In Sudan, guess what is going on? Oh, yeah. Americans have been left behind, trapped. Biden left them to fend for themselves after what? Another failed fuck up? You bet. Was it a CIA coup d'etat? Were they special advisors? Well, they've got nothing but trouble in Sudan, and Americans are being told, too bad. Now, of course, they're both shocked and disgusted. But how can you expect psychopaths to change their thinking, their way of doing business? You think Biden's going to change? Folks, the only thing that gets changed on him is his diaper. And that's Dr. Jill when she puts a clothespin on her beak and goes in there and deals with the old stinky fuck. They're that stupid, folks. They're trying it again and again and again. And trust me, they don't care about any little people in the way, whether it's lowly American citizens or our lowly allies. And they certainly don't give a shit about the people of Sudan. It's all about the resources and the value and the power and the control. They're going to keep doing it. Are you prepared, folks? Friday, Maddness-Max. It's Mad Max and it's madness to the max. And this is the free-for-all where you guys get to join the show the whole way through. Now, I want to give you some funny free-for-all stuff, but it's also pretty scary. Now, I think that if someone wants to arrest me, who are they going to call? Oh, they'll want to call the police and have them do their dirty work for them, right? You know, I tell you this. Any tough guy out there, if you want me arrested, you come and arrest me. Little bitch boys, come on. We got another one here, folks. The trans on cans. Remember that little creep? Right? Guess what he wants? Guess where them, fruitcakes, guess where they're going? Guess where they want to take this? And fuck them for even thinking it. This is his quote. I feel like that should be illegal. That's right, little trans wannabe woman who's actually got a penis. Dylan Mulvaney. He's the fruitcake that was featured on the Bud Can, Nike commercial, and now Maybelline makeup. He thinks people should be arrested for referring to him as a he or a him. He doesn't like the pronouns other people have for him. Well, I can call him any fucking thing I wish. Anything I wish. You want to arrest me, tough guy? Come and get it. No, folks, think of the left. They are a bunch of just authoritarian punks and bitches, but they want big, smelly cops to come and do their dirty work for them. So I want all the cops to understand this. When you cops, want to arrest us, patriots, for violating the feelings of these fruitcakes, you are the bitches to the little bitches. That's right. When you want to enforce bullshit rules, and I don't think it's going to happen here in America. It's called the First Amendment, and I don't give a fuck. Right? They still haven't learned. They put them on a can, Budweiser, down. They want to play games with us, Disney, down. They want to screw around on Fox, down. Get woke, go broke. You want to make movies with this shit in it, down. And they want to make cops their bitches and send them out to arrest people like me because I called him a pronoun he didn't approve of. How about if I call you a real noun, like an egg sucker? See how nice I was by putting the word egg in there? I'm sure he sucks many other things. But that's what they are, folks. They're a bunch of authoritarian pussies and cowards. But they want to use big, fat, greasy, smelly cops who will do their duty without consideration of others' rights. Unbelievable. Dylan Mulvaney wants our rights violated to protect his feelings. Oh, I tell you. Unbelievable. Now, let me know when we're ready to go, Mr. Uman. Oliver Uman himself brought this one up. And he says, hey, breaking news, dude. There's a federal judge is blocking the Illinois gun and magazine ban. The case isn't decided, but it's been blocked, right? It looks like it's been blocked. In other words, a stay has been put on a statute. A statute is not a law, folks. A statute is a statute. I am not subject to their statutes. I'm subject to the law. The law. It's called the Constitution. It's called common law. Anyways, federal judge says enough of this shit. Illinois, gun and magazine ban, no. Shall not be infringed. I'm telling you, folks, they're pushing and pushing and pushing. And many people would become felons. That is to say that if a policeman were to find a gun or magazine part or piece or whole object on someone under this law, effective supposedly 6/1, they would have been thrown in jail forever because some unconstitutional law was passed by a bunch of cowardly pricks who don't understand the difference between a right and a privilege, and who don't understand the difference between our rights and government authority. Government authority does not trump our rights, to use the word Trump. Thank you very much for letting me know that the people of Illinois have gotten a reprieve from socialist totalitarian lawbreakers in the great capital of Illinois. They're really battling to join California. And California, folks, as a state government, has been kicked in the teeth, kicked in the nads, and had a pointy toe kicked right in their ass every time they start fucking with the Second Amendment. Remember, the Second Amendment is not only a federal restriction on the federal government, But there are state restrictions on state government because the states have the same Second Amendment right there. Shall not be infringed. Now, down in the great state of Florida and many others besides, they have concealed weapon, and you don't even need a frickin' permit. In other words, everyone is carrying a gun, except criminals who are not allowed to have guns. Now, if they catch a criminal with the gun, it just goes to show you he's already a criminal. As far as the people who are not criminals, why should they be restricted from having guns in their homes, in their cars, on their body? Now, some states have open carry, some have concealed carry. I like both. I'm a good old-fashioned Scandinavian cowboy that way. I like the idea that civilians have guns on their hips because it scares the shit out of the bad guys. Right? And it gets people used to seeing regular people exercising a right. Just as much as I should be able to say what I want in private, in public, on the internet, I should be able to speak as I wish and not be silenced, censored, threatened, fined, ticketed, cited, or arrested. Especially for calling some jackbooted fruitcake, calling him the wrong personality pronoun type. I had someone send me a message yesterday. He worked in the schools, and our friend works in the schools, and he just installed a sandbox at a high school bathroom in the boys' room because one of the students identified as a fucking cat. So they put a sandbox in there. Can you imagine in your day and your age in your school if they had a sandbox in the school and some guy walked over and squatted over it after digging a hole with his hand, crapping in it and then covering it with his hand, and then what you do, lick his hand to get it clean? These people are freaky fruitcakes and they're sick. My rights do not end at their mental fucking illness. I'm feeling it today, folks. I was fucking whipped and beat yesterday. I'm back. They tried it again today, and I kicked their asses all the way down the fucking street. Now, woo! I tell you, I'm feeling it. We haven't done this in a little bit. I want to do it now. There you have it. There you have it. Take a wild guess. Well, yet another mainstream news person has a little bit of trouble with the juice. Geez, I thought this stuff was both safe and effective. Well, an NBC News correspondent was taken to the ICU, well, because he went on a hike. A hike, folks. Now, a 37-year-old male, folks, a 37-year-old man had a fucking heart attack. Cardiac emergency. It's known as a heart attack. I love how the mainstream media loves to change the fucking name of things to make it sound like, well, it wasn't cardiac arrest. It wasn't acute myocardial infarction. No, it was just a little emergency. Bam, right in the intensive care unit. Oh, by the way, he was Dallas. He's a Dallas-based journalist. And he was in nearby Cedar City. Now, folks, if you've ever been to Texas, you can go on a hike. You can hike all day long. Now, if you live in Colorado, California, Oregon, Washington, or even along the Appalachian states, there are some big hills with some steep hills. That'll get your heart thumping if you want to take a serious hike. But Cedar City, Dallas, that's not steep hills, folks. I don't know. I don't know what this guy was doing, but to go on a hike at age 37 and have a freaking heart attack that lands you in the ICU? I don't know. Unbelievable. He couldn't catch his breath. He had a good sleep, and a few miles in, couldn't figure it out at higher elevations. Higher elevations in Texas. I love Texans, but you want to go on a fucking hike. Why don't you start at 6,000 feet and hike up to 9,000 with a 50-pound pack? Tell me how you feel. Folks, unbelievable. Let's see. Yeah. This is still going on, in other words. It's still happening. It's not going away. The juice is here, and it's here to stay. I want these people to continue to take it. I want them to enjoy the fruits of their ignorance and stupidity. Unbelievable. Enjoy it. Keep taking it. It'll make you feel great. The Jim Jones juice, good. Have you changed your mind about it? Thank you, Mr. T, for those great intro, outro, transition piece, and satirical bits of stuff. Get your questions down below, your thoughts, get them in. Oh, by the way, if you're here Monday through Friday on the preparedmind.club or subscribestar.com, either or, $2 a month, it's 7 cents a day. It'll get you here live, and you can ask all the questions you want. Bring up all the situations, scenarios, you name it. That's what we do on a daily basis. So, Uman, Jolene, they go through them. They put them up on the board. They let us know what you want to think. And the first one today on this Friday free-for-all is Charles Gentry. And he says this, how about that, huh? Voting with dollars works. What the hell? Right, folks. We are canceling the corporations. It was hard to tell how hard Dick's was hit. Dick's Sporting Goods. When they decided to pull their anti-Second Amendment horseshit. Bed Bath & Beyond, they are beyond and down, folks. Done, toast, cooked, gone. Bankrupt. That's right. What did they do? Oh, they wanted to say something about Mike Lindell, Mr. My Pillow, for supporting Donald Trump. Good or bad, Donald Trump, you want to support him? Fine. Why would I care? Well, they tried canceling Mike Lindell by pulling his product out of Bed Bath & Beyond. Guess what? Bed Bath & Beyond is the one who went down. Get woke, go broke. Vote with your dollars. Vote with your pocketbook. Coca-Cola, I don't know how they're doing, but they can fuck off. I know they're tied into all the big major corporate fast food chains. They make their bucks there. But we know, folks, that they got hurt. How do we know that? Because of Budweiser. Because of the tranny in the canny. Right? Toast, done. They couldn't hide that, folks, whether it's in a bar on tap or in the can. And I'm sure that, a lot of the fruitcakes really like the idea of getting it in the can. The can of Budweiser with him on it, forget it, done. If I saw one in public, I would probably buy just one, just so I could show it to you guys, just so I could say they'll never sell another fucking Bud Light again, just to put it and show my friends, right? Look at this fucking idiot. That's it, folks. They're done. They're going to keep hurting themselves, and we can do it. See, that is where we've now shown them we can hurt them. We've shown them we can hurt them by taking from them and not giving to them. Keep up the good work. Do not give in with any of these woke corporations. Fox News, don't watch it ever again, period. I know Maria Bartiromo is still there, and she's trying to get a paycheck. Fuck them. Let them go down. They screwed up in 2020, and they called the election early. They show that they're a bunch of traitorous fucks. And the whole deal with Tucker, yep. Well, I think apparently he's starting to speak up. But I'm going to vote by, well, not subscribing to Fox, which I didn't anyway, because it wasn't such a valuable news service that I couldn't live without them. Right? But I'm not going to give my money to Netflix. Hell no. I'm not going to give my money to any of these woke fucking corporations. Fuck them. And for people who are new to the show, get used to being hearing bad words. If you think you're hearing bad words, wait till things get bad in your neighborhood. From your neighbors to people just marching down the street, going door to door, banging on doors, asking for food because they're starving. And they think you have something they want. Oh, it's coming. It really is, folks. It really is. Now, let me do this. Why do I have all this crap in my mailbox? Shouldn't there be a spam filter? Oh, yeah, there is. Get this, folks. RFK is gaining in popularity. This is RFK, son of the other RFK who was shot by Sirhan Sirhan, assassinated shortly after his brother JFK was assassinated, shot to the head, back into the left. So John F. Kennedy Jr. died in an airplane crash. A little bit of, I think he crashed in the bushes. Anyways, RFK Jr. is alive, and he's been going after this whole doctors and scientists and the Jim Jones juice and cerveza bug. He's been really active in the back, and he's been getting a lot of flack, but he's also been given a lot of leeway. And now he's announced that he's going to run for president. And he says, quote, "I will prosecute any official who engaged in criminal wrongdoing during the pandemic. Not retribution, but justice." Okay, justice. That's fine. How about prosecuting private corporations for engaging in the act known as, right, wait for it, duress, fraud, violation of rights. Like, right, the government wants to use the word justice, fine. I want to call it fucking payback. Now, RFK, he should run on his uncle JFK's political platform, but he should change parties to becoming a Republican. Folks, JFK was more a patriot than 99.9% of the politicians today, and not a chicken shit coward either. Oh, he got killed for it. Back into the left. Right here. Back into the left. But when I say a Democrat, JFK was more patriotic, it's because back then free speech wasn't an issue. Right? JFK exposed the military-industrial complex. Today we call it the deep state, also. But you know, you want to criticize it? Fine. You try and do something about it, they're going to come after you. JFK, as president, had the power, and was going after the CIA and also the FBI and other, shall we say, military-industrial complex scumbags, right? And the military-industrial complex that he exposed, folks, included the FBI, the CIA, and the Pentagon, as well as numerous other industrial giants. He exposed them for what it is, folks. It was a serious problem then, enough that JFK wanted to disband the CIA. So if it was that bad in 1963, imagine how bad it is today. 60 years later. Resist, folks. Fight on, patriots. All right, let's roll on. Ooman, where do we want to go, brother? Where do we want to put up here on the board? And it's Ooman. He says, doesn't that sandbox violate any health department codes? Common people, let's think like the leftist lunatics and use some lawfare against them for a change. Who's going to clean that box? Oh, it absolutely represents an incredible violation of health codes. There is a requirement for human feces to go down into the sewer and not to lie about in a bathroom, right? Well, what if a child, kitty cat, decides not to cover his poop? It's just going to sit out there and steam away in the bathroom? Not sanitary, folks. Violation of health standards, especially in public spaces. This is complete and utter madness and bullshit. Yet, and I'll say it again, yet there it is. There it truly is, folks. That's what they want. See, if you're a cat, you're not a human. If you're not a human, you don't have rights. You have privileges. See where this is going? See where this is going? They want to turn your rights into privileges and tell you what you can and can't do. They'll tell you can shit right in the street or shit in a sandbox, but you can't dare call someone by a pronoun that they don't approve. Right? They want to tell you what you can and can't say and where you can and can't go and eat what you can, and not eat what you can't. Right? Like Eric Swallowswell. He threw an absolute hissy bitch fit because, a congressman brought up, that's right, the loser's checkered past with Yum Yum Fang Fang. Brought it up again, just like Marge Taylor Greene did the other day. You know what? You want to sleep with a Chinese spy? Hey, have at it. Enjoy. Bang away, pal. Pork away. But you don't get to be and shouldn't be. And I don't know why the dumb fuck is allowed on the Intelligence Committee in Congress. Where is Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy on that one? Right? Where's the impeachment on Joe Biden? Why is this fucking guy still on the Intelligence Committee? And old Big Mouth himself, Swallowswell, says, you don't get to say that shit. Free speech, pal. Decorum? Yes. I believe in decorum, folks. At the same time, I believe in dignity, decency, morality, and respecting the Constitution, the laws, and the people. Swallowswell should have resigned himself years ago. Instead, he's decided for all the world to see him standing up there and pretending like he should just do what he wants and get away with it. Folks, I don't think that I'm congressional material. I don't want to be neither senator nor congressman. Right? I don't feel like subjecting myself to that type of ridicule. Well, these people, you want to be there? Have at it. Line up, Mr. Swallowswell, to the sandbox. Open your mouth and take a big bite of a cat's steamer. There you go, man. There you go. Okay, man, it is the Friday free for all. It is the madness of Maddness-Max. And he says, and now for something completely different. That would be a Monty Python quote. He says, from David Clinton, he says, hope we get an attendees list from SatanCon. Well, what is SatanCon? Well, I think it's up in Boston, and correct me if I'm wrong. Is it going to be this weekend or in the next couple of days that they're going to hold a conference for satanic followers and satanic believers and satanic worshipers? And it is. They've sold the tickets, and they know it's going to be the most attended satanic gathering in world history. So I'm going to ask you this. What the fuck is going on? Why is this allowed? You see, Satanism is not a religion in the sense that it worships God. It is the antithesis of worship. It is for destruction, right? To destroy is evil and criminal. Period. You don't have a right to destroy other people's stuff or their lives, but that's what Satanism is. It is the opposite of all that is good. It is bad. It denies the existence of good and seeks to create bad in everything. It kills, it murders, it maims, it destroys, it impedes, it ruins, it rots. And these people worship that. Unbelievable. I think that an attendees list for a public function should be made public. I don't know if they have privacy at these places. I don't think that the world should have to suffer having people who are blatantly evil around. Now, of course, they might try and argue, oh, no, we just believe in these other things. You're at SatanCon, you're a Satanist. Satan means adversary, adversary of all things good, which means you are evil. Unfucking believable. Seriously, folks. Seriously. Now, on the opposite side of that, folks, go Kansas. Kansas Republicans have passed a law that the poor fruitcake liberals are calling, quote, the most sweeping and restrictive transgender bathrooms bill in history. There shouldn't be a need to stop men from going to the women's rooms. Now, trust me, if a man accidentally walks into a woman's restroom and he realizes it, he turns around and leaves. That's called an accident. Accidents can be forgiven. If a man intentionally goes into a woman's bathroom to make women uncomfortable, to be a jackass, yeah, you committed a crime. As far as I'm concerned, it's indecent, right? He's a public freaking nuisance. We shouldn't have to have transgender restrictions to keep them away, right? We aren't in Kansas anymore. Fruto, is it Toto or Fruto? It's crazy, folks. Liberals are calling it sweeping and restrictive. Good. Go Kansas, right? The most sweeping and most restrictive. Good. I'm glad this fight is on now. I'm glad people are engaged. They're engaging with their legislatures, and the legislatures are engaging with the people, and they believe in morality and decency, and they're throwing these fruitcakes out. As far as I'm concerned, they're Satanists too. How can I make that leap? What do they want to do? They want to take standard morality, standard decency, and throw it away. They want to destroy it. They want to take our culture and our traditions and throw it away and replace it with theirs. So they want to destroy our culture, our traditions, our morality, our decency, and our laws, and put in its place laws that allow them to do what they want, go where they want, and folks have you arrested if you don't like it. That sounds adversarial to me, which is the definition of Satanism, to be the adversary of all that is good and all that is moral and all that is decent and all that is lawful. They want an unlawful system, right? A fruitcake can't have you arrested, folks, under the law, but in an unlawful system where your rights don't matter and their rules are enforced, that is unlaw, the opposite of law. Fucking weirdos. What a bunch of freaks. And I'm glad Kansas is sticking it to them. All right. Right. Same with Swallowswell. Oh, I believe he's from the great state of Illinois. Good gosh. All right. Man, where do we want to roll next, man? Who's up? Hey, we got Chin Music in the house. He says, John, back in the day, Swallowswell would have earned a date with a tree branch in a lonely prairie. Those days are over, man. In fact, as you know, and I know, and we all well know, the mere sight of a piece of rope tied in a loop, no matter how poorly done, is construed and thought of as a noose. That's right, a noose, folks. And the noose is a symbol of racism, even though more white people have been hung by the rope to their death than any other race on the planet. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. The noose was a tool used by government Now, I'm sure there were a few nasty civilians that also used the rope. The government has used more guns to kill people than any other civilians. The government makes mass murderers look like rank amateurs, which normally they are. But yeah, in the old days, folks, sheriffs, like the good sheriffs down south, basically could find someone hanging from a tree branch and say, that's just like a person to make a rope swing and not have it long enough to reach the ground. That's just like a moron to take more chain with them than they could swim with, as they look down through the boat and through the water to see someone laying on the bottom, buried in a pile of chain. Yep. I guess he didn't take that gun safety class and shot himself in the back of the head 6 times. Folks, don't worry. I'm making funny. If you don't like funny, well, hey, too bad. It's the Friday free-for-all, and it is Maddness-Max. Folks, the government has shot people, executed people in the front, in the back, in the head, in the side of the head, more than any other institution on the planet. If you've got a problem with guns, go and fix the government first. It is a much bigger, more dangerous problem than guns has ever been. It is not the tool, but rather the mechanism and authority, which is the problem. It truly is, folks. Ooman says, Noose reported at a Chicago school again today. They must be running thin on breaking news. Holy cow, a noose. Nooses are about as elusive as Bigfoot, right? Someone goes, holy cow, I thought I saw a noose. And here comes the news, right? Their little Ghostbusters mobile. We got this covered. We're going to let the world know. Let's see. Noose in Chicago. I'm going to tell you this. These people are morons to be afraid of a noose or to see it as a racist symbol. I mean, you want to talk about a racist slander. To call white people crackers, not because they look like a saltine cracker, but because they are whip crackers. So to call someone a cracker is to say that they own slaves, they abuse slaves, and they whip them. And whipping a whip, folks, when the whip hits the skin, it flays it. It rips through flesh. It tears flesh open. So to call me a cracker is the worst insult. To say that I think I own another human and that I can dispose of them as property or chattel. What an awful thing to say to someone. But as many times as I've been called cracker, I know what they mean by it, and I really don't give a fuck because the problem is theirs. These fruitcakes on the street, all these trans and LGBTQI, the problem is theirs. We didn't go down to their drag queens, clubs. We didn't go down to their gay bars and tranny bars and lesbian bars. We didn't go invade their spaces. They came out into public. They came out under the sunlight, and they've exposed themselves. I'm sure they would expose themselves more if they could get away with it. But hey, go to a gay pride parade, look around and see how much indecent exposure is out there. Not to mention lewd and lascivious discussions and acts that they'll perform on each other in public because they think it's cute. They're nasty. Absolutely nasty. But, not only have they come out of their own clubs, but they've gotten into ours. In Indiana, folks, a bar there has let everyone know, we don't appreciate the way you, right? We don't like the fact that you're picking on Bud Light and whatever. Well, they have now lost customers, and they're losing customers, right? They were shitty. They treated their customers bad. They sent shitty messages to guests regarding the Bud Light partnership with Dylan Mulvaney. They pissed off their customers, and so they said, fuck you. Woke bar, go broke. Now this bar is begging customers to come back. Why? They found out they're drinking in a gay bar, and they didn't know it. How about bars for straights and stay the fuck out? You know, and we don't do that. I mean, I've been to lots of bars, and I know that the people there are gay, some of them. Who cares? You see, but they throw it in our face. And they're trying to get the government to declare us to be the enemy, folks. They're trying to pass laws to silence us. It's unbelievable. It really is. It's tragic. It's frustrating. It's horrifying. And here we are. Here we are. Okay, let's see. Where do we want to roll? I mean, what is next? It is the Friday free-for-all. And oh, yeah, Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do the zoo. And it'll be on YouTube as well as thepreparedmind.club and subscribestar.com. But for now, let's do some more questions on this free-for-all Friday. We got Mikey G. And he says, trending. People damaged in some way by the Jim Jones juice are blaming, that's right, the purebloods, you and me. They're blaming us for not warning them strongly enough. What the fuck? Well, Mikey G, that's what happens. Truly, that's what happens. People who took the juice are weak-minded. They have no personal constitution. They wait for someone else to tell them what to do. The government told them what to do, and they obeyed. They obeyed the government, and now they're suffering. They've been damaged in some way. But just like they didn't take responsibility for themselves prior and listen to the government, they want to blame us now for not warning them strongly enough. You see, they're victims. If they didn't take it and got sick, they'd say, why didn't everyone make us take it? And then they get sick, and then they go, why didn't you warn us not to take it? We did. You know what they need to be told is, well, the mainstream media silenced us. And the government worked with mainstream media and social media to silence us. In fact, yeah, the government's broken, literally, the law. They violated the First Amendment. They have conspired with private corporations to violate our rights. Anyone who did that, anyone who's involved in the least amount should be, 1, fired, 2, held criminally liable, and 3, not only go to jail, but have to sell their property and pay reparations to people that they directly hurt with their efforts. You see, yeah, directly hurt. See, if I commit a crime and damage someone's property, they make me pay for it. Government commits a crime. Oh, it's no one's fault. Yeah, no, it is someone's fault. It really is. But yeah, they're going to blame us, folks. They'll never accept responsibility for themselves, and they will never blame government. It's because they're cowards too, and they're weak. But trust me, when things get really bad, if they're going to blame you for the Jim Jones juice, they'll blame you for no gasoline. They'll blame you for no food. They'll blame you for no electricity. They'll blame you that there's no law enforcement out there to save them. They'll blame you. That's what they do. They blame others. That's why I say you've got to have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan. You've got to have all that together, folks, because they're going to blame you. And you, for protecting yourself, you're responsible for your entire life. And I like it that way. I like being responsible for me. It's a lot of work, by the way, taking care of me, being responsible for me. I don't need to be taking care of everyone else, but I certainly need to make sure that everyone else isn't trying to tell me what to do in my life, like these little fruitcakes like Dylan Mulvaney, who wants to have me arrested for calling him what he is. Now, to be fair to myself, I really don't think that I like calling him a him, except I accept that his biological chromosomal makeup is that of a male, even though he exhibits no qualities that a male has. because he has chosen to behave like a fruitcake. Now, yes, speaking of fruitcake, understand these people are dangerous. They're not just going to use the police because, well, the police, they'll need to go after people like me and you and large, mature, intelligent people. But they will, at their own level, go after people. In Southern California, a biological male who claims to be a girl decided he would go into the girls' locker room. He would expose himself to girls and then assault them. So I'm going to say this, you go in locker rooms. One is supposed to be able to undress fully, take showers after exercising, feel comfortable in your surroundings, right? Being naked is not a crime. Yeah, right. Except when you have a giant tranny male in there exposing himself. You see, that's where the whole gender thing comes in. Gender is not what you want to be. Gender is what's between your fucking legs. But this is a violent, giant male. But instead of picking on someone like me, or Uman, or Kaz, or Orlando, or Frank, or Michael, or John, or the other John, or the other John, or Vaughn, or Mikey, right? Or name any one of us. Instead of coming after us, they go after little girls. Now understand, they want to victimize these girls, and they also victimize young men. They victimize them because they can, and they victimize them because they want them to be their victims, their bitches. So I refuse to be a victim of them. Woo! Yeah. They want to blame us, folks. Thank you, Mikey G, for the blame on the juice. And I want to let parents know you're to blame if your kids are in school with trannies or sandboxes. Right. I guess parents better get active down in LA, all of California, across the whole country. They better get active against the school boards and the administrations before locker room exposure of genitals becomes locker room rape. And we already have cases of that in Loudon schools in Virginia, don't we? And the school board hid them, and hid them, only to be exposed themselves for what they did and the crimes they committed. Still, they're not going to quit. They're not going to stop. They're not going to go away. They're not doing it. Unbelievable that if you refer to a human in school as a human and they think that they're a cat, they'll bite you. That's how fucking stupid they are. That's how stupid they are, folks. I have never met one of these now. Years ago when my kids were in school, so back in, 2018, 17, 16, 14, right? I remember seeing kids going to school wearing animal ears on their head. Either little pointy cat ears or little floppy dog ears, and they had tails hanging out the back of their fucking pants. And I thought, what is this, some kind of dress as your pet day, something fun? No, folks, it's every day. These people identify as animals, and they're allowed to meow and growl. They're complete mental cases. They're mental. They have serious psychological damage, folks, serious psychological damage. I mean, these people are that fucked up in the head. Here's an example. In Washington, D.C., environmentalist wackos, as Rush Limbaugh used to call them, environmentalist wackos decided they were going to vandalize a sculpture done by Degas. Right? They've attacked Van Goghs. They've attacked everything under the sun. I'm just going to start calling it fruits throwing fruit. That's how stupid they are. They think that attacking artwork is going to get them what they want. I still remember when the fruitcake glued themselves to the showroom floor at an automotive showroom. I think it was in Germany. And then proceeded to get very mad that no one would bring them a can to go pee in. I'd say, wait till your fucking skin peels off. It'll take 4 or 5 days. Maybe someone will bring you some water, but no food. In 4 or 5 days, your skin will slough off. Or you have to peel parts of your skin. It's going to hurt, but you'll learn your lesson that didn't get you what you wanted. In fact, if I was that, I believe it was a Porsche dealership, no less, I would have gotten signs that said "complete moron" and have signs with arrows pointing at them, like the old Bugs Bunny signs, with a hand with a, pointing. Idiot right there. Unbelievable. Okay, let's do this. Let's do some more super chat. Actually, it's not super chat, but I love calling it that, and I love saying that. Charles Gentry says, I seem to remember that the juice not working for the juiced people because people like us wouldn't get it with them. Am I remembering wrong or something? Oh, yeah, we were told that we all have to get it or it won't work right. Well, you see, I can't, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, but I seem to remember exactly how this is supposed to work. You take the medication and it solves the problems. See, if I've got an infection, say I've got a toothache, and the dentist says, John, you need to get some ampicillin or some amoxicillin. But make sure everyone in your neighborhood gets some too, or it won't work for you. It's not how that works, right? It's supposed to work on me and my body, and it shouldn't have to rely on anyone else's participation. You're not wrong, Charles, not a bit. It didn't work because we didn't get it. It didn't work because you didn't get the booster, right? These people are sick in the head. And I love the fact that all Democrats, all socialists, all fruitcakes, all leftists, I'm glad. I'm very glad they're taking it. And I want them to take more. I don't want them to just be safe. I want them to be bulletproof because of it. I want them to be able to fly like Superman. I want them to believe they've got telepathic powers and can talk to the animals like Aquaman. Oh, yeah, I tell you. These people are nuts. Let's move on, though. Let's see what else is out there. Oh, man, who else do we have? What do we want to talk about? What's coming up? It is Orlando, and he says, hey, a couple of towns over yesterday, an 18-year-old got caught in school with a pew-pew. Pew-pew. As if we need to give these people any more reason to fuck with our Second Amendment. An 18-year-old got caught in school with a pew-pew. Now, when I went to school and where I went to school, young men drove their pickup trucks to school with gun racks in the back window and rifles in the gun racks. Isn't that amazing? It wasn't a problem back then. Nobody got shot. Now, in today's modern age, if people see a gun in your window and you're not in the truck, they start getting a funny idea that they can go steal it. It's not a good idea to try stealing someone's peace. Anyways, yeah, I think we all have to understand, Orlando, that people that make really, really, really rank, bad, stupid decisions are probably leftists or moderate morons. So this 18-year-old was in school with a gun. Yeah, they're probably wanting to give guns a bad name. Maybe this person wanted to make a big giant statement and a stink and make guns look bad, but really wasn't up to becoming a mass murderer like the tranny in Nashville. I wonder if the tranny's mind control drugs it was on helped contribute to the fact. Oh, by the way, the tranny's manifesto just might get released this weekend. Just might, maybe. I'm interested in it now. I want to know what is so scary that has law enforcement traumatized. I don't even know if we're going to get the correct or real manifesto. I think that by the time it's released, they'll either redact it or just change it out and give us some bullshit. I'd really like to know the truth. I would like to be given the opportunity to sit in the same room, but with a piece of protective glass between me and the fruitcake so they couldn't spit on me or sneeze on me or put any biological matter on me. I'd like to be able to ask them some questions. Perhaps a Zoom meeting with one of them. Oh, fuck. Man, brilliant. I defer to your brilliance on this. Trannies should not have manifestos. They should have tranifestos. Why have I not heard of that? Why didn't I think of that one myself? A tranifesto. That's hilarious. That is truly hilarious. These young people are screwed up in the head, folks. Expect more problems as they continue to take the juice, as they continue to accept Marxism. There was a discussion in the R Syndicate private meeting room today about rainbow flags and communist flags in our American school classrooms. Whereas the American flag may or may not be on the flagpole out front. But a lot of schools consider it to be a racist symbol, which makes no sense. But they'll fly the communist flag, which is responsible for the murder of over 100 million people. Either the Chinese or Russian or Soviet Union flag. Tens of millions at each country, no less. That's fine. Fly the symbol of ultimate human oppression and murder, you dumb motherfuckers. The terrible part is they're exposing kids to that. They're exposing kids to that crap. And I tell you, I run into kids all the time, and I like to say shit to them like, hey, what do you think of communism? Interestingly, I don't run into anyone who has the guts to say anything to me, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for someone to say, yeah, what's it to you, old man? Right? We love communism. I'm going to say, then get the fuck out of my country. And I'll probably say a couple other things that are a choice beside. I tell you, these people that want to destroy our country and our culture, folks, in Washington State, there's a school district that is canceling fourth grade music lessons because it fosters, quote, white supremacy culture and significant institutional violence. Folks, because, band music is white garbage, unlike ghetto rap, which is pure genius. Pure genius. Nope, it isn't. It isn't. But here we are. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Someone's playing a nice joke on me, and they're up on top of the prepared bunker entrance, and they're banging on it. I guess they want to hang out on a Friday night with me. So what I'm going to do is, here we are at the end of the show. They know it's the end of the show. And I'm going to wish you a very special weekend, and I will see you, folks, on Sunday Night Live. For now, folks, chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Semper Fi. Godspeed. We're still going. No, we're done. What the hell?
Well, it says we're still going, and I see myself